Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jeffrey Moss. I'm the founder and CEO of Parker Dewey. Parker Dewey is a mission-oriented organization. We're trying to solve the challenges associated with college to career transition, and we're doing it through the use of micro-internships, which I'll talk more about in a minute. Entry-level hiring is broken. You've heard this in the past few conversations, and we all know it. There's more open positions right now than there have been in decades, and we're sitting here with tons of complaints about the skills gap, or the so-called skills gap. On top of that, when companies are hiring recent college grads, there's a 50% chance they're going to leave in the first year, causing billions of dollars of lost cost to companies. And what's interesting is the current process isn't aligned to the needs of companies right now. As you can see, what companies are looking for is branding, early access to talent, driving diversity, and the campus recruiting process doesn't do it. The other thing is, with so much discussion around the so-called skills gap, what's interesting is of the top 10 skills that employers want, very few of them are technical. You don't see the first technical skill until number 8. What companies are looking for? Problem solving, communication, grit, attention to detail. On the other side, 47% of recent college grads are either under or unemployed upon graduation. That's not my number. That's Strava. That's really scary. What we're also seeing, though, is increasing acceptance of the so-called gig economy. We're seeing companies getting more comfortable outsourcing their work to individuals outside of the four walls of their organization. In fact, McKinsey did a whole study, and they identified 4 quadrants because that's what consultants do. Well, what we realized was there's this 5th quadrant, or this 5th segment, sort of the use of gigs as a pathway to getting full-time hires. And with that, we created the concept of the micro-internship. What is a micro-internship, you might ask? It's a short-term professional assignment, something that you have on your plate that would probably take you anywhere between 5 and 40 hours that's just not the highest and best use of time for you. It's due anywhere from a few days to a few weeks. It's something that would be perfect for an intern or a new hire if you had an extra one around. One of our clients described the projects that we're really good at as the we shoulds and the I shouldn'ts. We should write an article before going to GSV this week, but no one has time. Or I shouldn't be the one crunching the GSV list to figure out who I should meet with. Do you know what? Not the highest and best for us, but the college kid would love to do it. We made it really easy for companies to use. It takes under 5 minutes to post a project. They lay out what they need, when they need it, and how much they want to pay. We even have a library of one-click projects to make it even more simple. College students and recent grads see the projects, and they apply to only those that interest them. What's important is we don't allow them to filter based upon industry or department because we want to encourage career exploration. We want them to try different industries, different roles, especially those students who are in majors that don't sound like job titles. Companies see only those students who apply. They select who they want. The student works on the project and can access all of the resources both that Parker Dewey provides and provided by the school. So think about alumni engagement. Think about professors' office hours. Those things are taking place to drive this experiential learning. When the project's done, the company provides feedback to the college student, which they can use to better understand strengths, weaknesses, etc. And unlike Uber, none of this feedback is public. This is something the students and the universities can use. As compared to the gig sites, someone said, you're like Upwork for college kids. Well, we're actually not, because of a couple of things. First of all, the students for the duration of the project actually are consultants with Parker Dewey, which means there's no 1099 or accounting burdens. The other reason is we don't charge a temp to perm fee. So if you meet someone on Upwork and you want to hire him or her, they're going to charge you 30% of the first year's salary. And that's true of all the gig sites. We don't do that. We don't want to create friction. We want these college students to get hired for full-time roles, and we're seeing it happen. We're seeing it happen across companies, across students, across schools. They also demonstrate those skills that are incredibly hard to assess: communication, problem solving, grit, attention to detail. And what's nice is the impact is real. In fact, there's a ton of coverage about this recently in sources like the Chronicle, Forbes, etc., but this is the impact that really matters. These are college kids that are getting full-time roles that wouldn't otherwise be available, and if you want to hear any of their stories, I'm happy to share them when we have more time. What's also nice is it applies across organizations. This doesn't need to be an HR initiative. Anyone in the audience can post their project. We all have them. Give a college kid a shot. They're dying to do it. It's not the highest and best use for us, but for a college student, it's perfect. We're also working closely not just with universities, but foundations and nonprofits because this supports their mission. We're also partnering with organizations where companies like Cerner or Pepsi or Aon can share themselves in front of companies and for college students. So post a project if you have one. We have tens of thousands of college kids who would love to help. Thanks.